Welcome to Bee's Travelogue, episode 58. On my second day in Suncheon and on my way back to the National Garden, I took the same bus number back, but when it suddenly took a different turn, I jumped off and walked the rest of the way. This way I got to see a little bit more of Suncheon, so I wasn't too upset. And it was really pretty, even though it added about half an hour to my way to the garden. When I had first planned to go to Suncheon, it was to see the mud flats by the sea. In many K-dramas, I had seen families in the mud looking for mussels, and I sort of wanted to see what it was like. But without a car, it was kind of difficult to figure out how to get anywhere close to the seashore. So when I had discovered the Sky Train the night before, I thought this was a good way to get close to the sea. My goal this morning was the Sky Train, but I also wanted to see as much as I could of the gardens. So I just took a little bit of a different path than the night before and went to the Italian garden and the French garden. I also briefly walked through the Chinese garden and then headed for the spaceship bridge. Right here is the daytime view of what I had seen the night before, just around sunset. This time I didn't spend much time on the bridge, I just headed straight through and to the Sky Train. I bought a round-trip ticket and ended up being the only one in my little pod. Looking back, I could see the spaceship bridge, and then on the way, I saw more of the gardens alongside the river and had some idea that I wanted to see more. We then came to an area of rice fields. As far as the eye could see, there were rice fields and then the mountains in the distance. I loved the different shades of light green in the rice fields. Along the way, we passed several other SkyTrain pods which came in different colors. Because I was the only passenger in my SkyTrain, I could walk around freely and take pictures and videos in all directions. We were close to a river and also saw many greenhouses along the way. When the SkyTrain arrived at its destination and I got off, I still waited for a little while with some other passengers until a tractor train came to pick us up. This map was a really good overview of where we could walk and how long each walk would take. Once we arrived, almost everyone crossed the bridge and walked into the reed fields. Some people borrowed umbrellas to cover themselves from the bright sunlight. We walked on elevated boardwalks that sometimes split ways and you could go different directions. And if you looked down on the side, you could see sometimes water, sometimes mud. And if you stopped long enough to pay attention, you could see little red crabs walking in the mud. The reed was very tall. We could hear lots of birds and sounds from other animals. And in the distance, there was a river, and there were boats going back and forth with tourists on the boats. Here's a panoramic photo of the reed fields and the mountains in the distance. I walked on all of the pathways, even to the bathroom that I didn't need to use, just to see as much as I could of the reed fields. Next to the boardwalks were sometimes little areas with benches that you could walk down to and sit down and have some lunch, which is what I did at some point. I didn't have real lunch, I just brought some chips and had some water. While I was eating, I was observing more of the crabs. It was another very, very hot day, and on the boardwalks in the reed fields, it was especially hot. Eventually, I headed back to where I had started, on the other side of the river. There was a place where you could rent bicycles, but I wasn't really sure what that would entail and didn't really want to deal with inquiring and figuring out how to do it. So I just thought I would walk along the road. The views were beautiful, especially of the rice fields and the hills in the background. But as I was walking along the road, it got really, really hot, and I soon regretted my choice of not taking the bicycle. I knew I should turn back, but I was also very, very stubborn. I wanted to see the mud fields that I had set out to see, and so I kept on walking. I did see some mud near me, but not close enough to really walk to, and also further out, but it was behind the reed fields, and it didn't seem like there was some kind of access. I kept thinking if I just kept going further, that I would find a spot where I could get to the mud. But in the end, it was just too far. I didn't really find any access and eventually turned around. The walk back was incredibly long and hot, and I was worried that I didn't bring enough water. I was considering briefly to walk into the rice fields and through some of the smaller pathways there just to see something new, but I thought if something happened, if I had a heat stroke, nobody would find me there. So I stayed on the main road and just walked back as fast as I could to where the little train would take me back to the pod and to the garden. Once I got back, I bought a couple of bottles of water, then hopped on the train to take me back to the pod. This time I was not alone in the pod. There was a little family with me, but it was still nice to look out the window and enjoy the ride. Soon the spaceship bridge came back into view and we got off at the station. My first stop was at the little convenience store below, where I bought some ramen and some refreshing soda. Once I was refreshed, I took photos of the SkyTrain pods and then walked around the garden and found that there was an overlook, so I climbed the overlook. I had already realized that in Korea, when you climb a hill, you don't very often walk straight on the ground, but there are either mats or stairs that are built for easy access. So I climbed the stairs to the overlook and had a beautiful view over the gardens and the city of Suncheon in the background. From here, I climbed back down to the Korean garden, which looked just like the secret garden I had seen in Seoul. And from there, back past the Swan Lake and the fields of flowers that I had seen the night before, across the spaceship bridge until I got to the German garden. The German garden, the American garden, all did not look very exciting. Mexico, on the other hand, was more interesting. From the Mexican garden, I walked to the Dutch garden, which had a windmill and wooden shoes. I found this area that was just for Busan, and then I came to the Italian and the Spanish gardens, which were very beautiful. After the Spanish aqueduct garden, I came to the Turkish garden, which had a building with pictures of Turkey inside. After the Turkish garden, I walked to the British garden, complete with a red telephone booth and water fountains. The Thai garden was on my way back to the entrance. I had a Dunkin' Donuts snack at the bus terminal and headed back home. Thank you for watching.